All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So today we were given some official details in terms of the Mastery Camo Challenges, in terms of what they are and how they look like. Now, I know that there was some of this discussed in the previous video. I get that, but now we actually get to see it in video form. And first, right off the bat, I have to say that they look really good, really clean. I really like the colors of all three of them. So I, for one, am actually pretty excited about this. And speaking of which, one thing I wanted to do before going a little bit more in depth, as well as some other possibilities in the future, as well as some feedback on this as well, is because, well, speaking of feedback, Ian, the Ian Prue, the gentleman who is the co-founder and the CEO of this game, pretty much responded to one of my videos. I'm going to put a screenshot on in this video right here so you could see it. So if they're listening to somebody small like me here on YouTube, you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that they're listening to you guys as well. I'm sure they're listening in the comment section or whatnot. So the reason why I discussed that before continuing on with the topic of discussion for today is that, you guys in the comment section have been very generous with what you've had to say, whether you agree or whether you disagree or whether you come up with ideas or whatnot. And I just wanted to show you that everything that you guys are saying in the comment section, they are paying attention to them. So I guarantee you, I can't speak for them, but I can pretty much guarantee that they're not just listening to what I have to say in the video, but I'm pretty sure that they're scrolling down in the comment section and seeing what the community has to say as well. So we're going to keep the feedback coming, and speaking of feedback, let's continue here. So like, as I mentioned with the camos, now, first of all, I want to go over in terms of how they're described and just kind of review it, because it was mentioned yesterday, but we're going to go over it again today real quick. So once you reach max level on a weapon, which most of us probably have with the majority of weapons, you unlock carbon challenges. And once you complete those carbon challenges, you unlock gold for that weapon. And then once you get gold for at least 6 weapons per faction, then you unlock Proelium. So that's pretty cool. And again, the Proelium looks really good. The gold looks really good. The carbon looks really good. And I like how different they are from each other, but at the same time, it actually fits the color palette of how Splitgate looks. So I think that's really cool. So that actually has me excited in terms of what future camos we're going to have, as well as challenges for them. Now, in terms of how often we're going to get them, that's kind of like a big question mark right now, because I, for one, am not a developer, so I don't know how much time it takes to create stuff like this. I'm sure it's probably not the most difficult thing, but I would have to guess that it's probably just time consuming. And as you guys know, that there are other things that they need to work on as well in the game as time goes on. But if it's not as time consuming, I would say that'd be pretty cool if we actually got 3 new Mastery Camo Challenges to grind for every chapter. However, if it is time consuming, I'm probably going to guess that they're going to do something like 3 new camos for every season. So in other words, every 3 months, 3 new camos and challenges. But if they're able to squeeze more, I have a feeling that they're going to give it to us. And in other words, if they're able to give us more than 3 camos for season 2 and then double that, or make it up to like 4 or 5, 6 or whatever, I'm pretty sure the community is pretty much going to be taking advantage of that. However, I kind of have a little bit of a feedback and an idea, and I've touched up about on this previously, but I'm pretty sure that the community will agree with me. And again, if you don't, please let it be known in the comment section below. But not just in a game like Splitgate, but pretty much other first-person shooters out there like Halo. I've noticed that people really love the idea of grinding for cosmetics for what their character looks like, right? And obviously, when you look at the factions, you've got things like shoes, shin pieces, quad pieces or whatnot, boots, everything from the front and back or whatnot. So if we had some sort of mastery, faction mastery challenges in terms of, something similar to this, but where we're actually grinding, the faction in order to make them cosmetic, I think that'd be really cool. Like if you could at least have like the shoulder pads, the chest pieces and stuff like that, like certain aspects of the faction that look a certain way that you can make cosmetically, kind of like when you look at the guns or whatnot. When you look at the weapons, I think that'd be really cool. And at the same time, if they don't actually cover the entire faction, like for instance, if there's areas to where the cosmetic camos for the factions, for instance, were not shown, I think that's okay because, quite frankly, if let's say you've purchased something in store, it kind of gives you the opportunity to mix and match, so to speak, right? So I think that's fine, and it also makes the store viable as well. So it's like if somebody wants something from the store that they really like, they can kind of mix and match with everything that they've grinded for in the faction challenges. And again, we're talking everything from helmets to gloves to chest pieces, you you name it, right? So I think that would be a pretty cool idea. And then obviously the best of the best and the highest tiers or whatnot can get can do something to where it's like, maybe like the camos could be like animated or something like that, as well as the faction pieces. But those are a few ideas. So with that being said, I want to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of, in terms of how these camos look? And what do you think in terms of how you unlock them? Do you guys like the system? Do you dislike the system? Do you think that systems should evolve over time in terms of what the challenges and stuff like that are going to be? And if you have any ideas for any other cosmetic type of challenges like the one I mentioned about the factions, I want to know down below, because again, these guys are watching, so therefore, you might as well just give as much feedback as you can. Because if there is a dev team that is not only listening, but also very likely, if popular enough, to basically grant our wish, so to speak, and put it in the game in some way, shape, or form, then it's these guys, right? It's these guys, so you might as well just submit your requests in the comment section down below, and these guys will listen. So, but with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here. I want to know what you guys think. And as always, I like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.